Okay. This is our Ullman Zoom dream group. And today's dream group was led by Joyce Liu. And the dreamer was Deshan Chen. And our most special participant was Markku Siivola. So we've gathered here. I've gathered everybody here because I felt so much of importance happened today. And I would like to see what any of you have to say. Maybe we could start with whoever wants to start. Should we start with the dreamer or the dream? Maybe with Joyce, because Joyce led the group today. Joyce, how was it?
I think it's pretty smooth, and since it's a short dream and Lisa really understands how it works, and she's really free when she talks a lot when she shares, and she is really willing to dig in together with us. So it's rather easy. It's more like I'm just here to mentioning which state we are in, and we just make sure everything is going on. So I think it's really smooth.
Well, I was impressed with the way you led, that you were inclusive of people. You always had your eye on people and you included everybody, and it wasn't a solo performance. So I was impressive with your command of the, I think you did a good job.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, I like the way you lead. Yeah, because you always can get so sharp, like asking the right questions that make me think the part that I don't cannot see. Yes.
Yeah, she yeah. You know, sometimes we need someone to ask us the question because our thinking may go in a different direction. And Joyce is sharp and quick. One question after another.
I really like the way that, because sometimes I think before when Bill, you are leading a dream group, it's more like we feel like you will ask all the questions. So it's most of the time we will just not talk much. But when I was in this in this dream group, I noticed that sometimes when she mentioned, she bring up question, and maybe I will have a question, I will also bring up that. And in that way, I feel like if it's more than just one person talking and asking question, if there's more people talking and asking question, it can really make it flows in a way that is very natural. Because sometimes when I feel like, oh, maybe I don't have to ask that, maybe the dreamer already has that answer. But when you bring up the question and I hear the dreamer talks about it, I will feel like, oh, although I feel like maybe she already knows it, but it's more about what she said out loud, whether she hears it or not, or maybe to form in another way. So I really like the way that we are working today, that everybody is talking.
No, I noticed a difference, and I want to tell you how I got my idea from Markku. Markku told me he doesn't lead dream groups anymore. I think he used the word facilitates them. And I got this idea that, and I feel so much richer. The dream group is so much richer when it's rotating leadership, when you people are doing the leading, there's more participation. You're right. And when sometimes people see an authority, you know what I mean? Because I've written books about dreams. I think, oh, build some authority. So we'll all be quiet and hear what he says. I don't think that's a wise thing, because I'm no more authority than anybody else. So I think what you're saying is true. It is more interesting now. Markku, do you want to say anything?
Well, now nothing comes out now spontaneously anyway.
Okay. I don't want to drag it out. Lisa, do you want to say anything? This dream you gave today was the most interesting dream. I mean, here you gave us a dream that had to do with being in a public toilet, and it had to do with tampons. Unused ones and used ones and stinky, yucky ones, and had to do with being annoyed and irritated, and then that had to do with a very interesting and powerful political movie in Taiwan. I think it's called
Detention.
And about the KMT, the rule of the KMT, and before there was freedom. And And you took that, nobody knew what it meant. You took this dream about tampons and you turned it, you found in it that it spoke to your feeling about leading a dream group in California. Do you want to say anything more about this? And it's a very unique dream.
Yes, in the beginning, really, I think it is not so appropriate to share, especially there are like men here, and I'm afraid that people will find it gross. So open. Yeah. And I'm glad that I shared the dream, because for me, I just see the very like 1 out of 10. That's what I got today. And by sharing this dream, and I also get to like show my question and my own doubt, and in this like with Theo and Markku and so many experienced leaders, then I can get my question really answered or exposed. And by showing that, I believe that I really can get better. Yes. And I'm surprised that the tampon can be the metaphor of drink group, really. Yeah. In the beginning, I just feel, yeah, it's my emotions and it's very yucky and very nasty, and I should really stop pushing myself. Yeah. And in the end, I just realized that it's used tampon can be that it's not very pleasing things, but it's very true and very real. It's like each one of us are not perfect, but it's really that we have our own story and our own like personality differences, that if that in the group that we can accept, or we just keep this people story as our own lesson. I feel it's very comfortable, and the dream just show it, and I think it's just very wise. I wouldn't come to the meaning of it without all of you. Yes,
Joyce, do you want to say something, or Markku?
I think
Oh,
yes. Go. You go first.
no, you go first at the last, because it must come from the unknown, that intuition, so that before I can say anything.
Okay.
And if I don't get it, I cannot say anything.
Yeah, because I was just thinking that when Lisa mentioned that it's very hard to get people to the dream group, one thing I was thinking is that when in the toilet I hear other girls, when we were all students, I think it's actually really a good thing that I hear what girls there. Because when I was in junior high, I was thinking that whether I'm going to a girls senior high, because that's where we can all be ourselves. So people in the classroom, we can just have who has tampons and someone will share it, and it's all very free, and you'll feel like it's really lively because we just be there and be who we are. If there's boys in the classroom, it's like we're going to hide it. We need to sneak to someone else and to ask whether they have tampons. But it's like if it's a toilet and they're all student, I feel like when we become growing up, I will sort of feel like I need to take care of myself. So it's my responsibility to bring a tampon with me. And so if I don't have one and I really need one, I will feel troubles to speak up, to say that I need help. But if when I'm a student and I see other students, I will feel like it's okay because everyone do that. We just say it out loud. We say, oh, I need help. Can you help me? And they will say like, oh yes, I can help you. So everything will be very free and it's like we're just being good person by helping each other. It's all natural. So I sort of feel that this metaphor in the dream, it sort of shows that actually I'm not, by giving out a tampon to other people who are in need, I'm not trying to be a good person. I'm just offering what I have. So this whole thing can, in one way, be very natural, and it can really be interesting because you don't always have period in every day, and it's like you don't always meet someone who has tampon. It's like it all happens spontaneously, and it just happens. So it's kind of like a miracle. So in one way, I also see that it's very hard to have a regular dream group, but in the other way, I feel like all the other people must have the same difficulty, because just as Bill mentioned, it's very hard to get regular people to come here. But when it happens, it's like once in a blue moon, and it's like something it's a treasure. That's very rare, and it's a miracle. And that's why I get
It's a treasure to find you people and to have you people come forward, have Markku come. It's a treasure to be connected. I just want to say something. Montague Ullman, in all of his books and writing, he didn't use the word he. When he talked about a dreamer, he always said she. And he said the reason he did this is because most of the people in his dream group were women. And the interesting thing about Lisa's dream and her metaphor of the tampons being a metaphor for the dream group is that she mentioned that in her California dream, she tried to make a dream group where women could come together and talk about things they couldn't talk about on the outside, elsewhere. And I think the tampon is a perfect metaphor for a dream group specifically for women, a women's dream group. And it can be very successful. I knew someone in Long Island who had a dream group for mothers. It was very successful to draw women together, because women don't usually have a place where they can talk about things in a deep, deep way. And the dream group gives that ability. Markku, do you want to bounce off that, or Lisa, do you want to say something?
No, I remember Liz Carter's group, so that as far as I understand, she has a women's group, Liz Carter in London,
Yeah.
or in England, so that I have told about her dream groups to others, but I don't know if they have gone in there.
Yeah, Liz Carter has a dream group specifically for women. And from what Joyce has led the dream. Do you want to say anything about the dream group, Joyce? Liz's dream group?
Actually, I'm in Liz's dream group, and actually I had a chance to lead there. And I think it's very different. I think sometimes it feels really weird that that sharing dreams more like a women's thing. But I think maybe in a one way or two, it just like, maybe it's more about we are sharing things not just because we are hurt or we are having trouble. It's more like we just normally want to have a health check. Want to know what the stage you are going now, what you're having recently. And I think it can be more than just a women thing. But also it's another way. It's true that in a women's group, when there are all women's people, we say different things, and where there are all boys or all school students, we say different things. So yeah, I think it's really interesting to have a girl only group and have a mixed group and all different kind of group.
Lisa, do you want to say anything?
I like it to be women's group. I feel like mostly we have so many different like parts or roles in life. Like it's especially women, that we have so many different roles to play, and it is just very hard and very sometimes have no time or no place just to let it out. And I often saw like Taiwanese women share their like problem online, and there are so many like hundreds of replies, and that all went to different directions. And I go, oh, that's really wrong. Like if she listened to all of them, how messed up her head would be. And I said, yeah, they really need a group that they can talk really deeply and to see that what they really think or heart really feel. If they don't get anything, they just can say it and feel supported. And I feel that's very important, especially when after I become a mom, like the pressure or things, like many things I have to do, or maybe that's all constraints from family, or what's the stereotypes I put inside my head that would change my behavior. And I found it's very important to just to be aware of who I really am. So that's why I feel that it's very important for women to have the group together. Yes.
I had once a very creative group. It became, they got some kind of prize from high level. I think it was the anyway a high level prize about creativity, and they all were men. The only men group I have had any, and they were because their creativity was that kind of thing that it already tells that they were special. They were men, and they really jumped into their dreams. Because majority of men don't even have courage to once come to those groups. I have had very, very, very seldom groups consisting of one men and all other women. 99% of my groups have been so.
Yes.
Yeah, men have, like Mante said, too, so that men had more important things to do, to build atom bombs and go to the moon, and dreams are nothing compared to them. But it was so fantastic, so that when I saw Monte the first time, well, first I said, when the Swedes asked me, so that there is a psychoanalyst who is coming to Sweden. Do you want to come too? And I asked, what profession? Psychoanalyst. I said, no, I don't want to hear about vaginas and penises anymore, because in my psychiatric training that was impossible, that narrowness, how that those leading psychiatrists led those big hospitals there. So, but Monte came, and they literally dragged me to that Monte's group, and there it happened. The other day 2, and Monte said to me, Markku, I have dreamed about you. And I was completely stranger. I saw Monte the first time there, and there the miracle happened. Monte told a very short dream, and that was the only time when the dream flashed open immediately. And there was something that then our friendship began. It continued to his death. Perhaps the fairy tale-like part was that Monte in his dreams said that he saw 2 telephone poles through the window, and I came and asked something in his dream, asked him something, and he said to me, Markku, if you can understand why those telephone poles out there are exactly there where they are, you have got an answer to your questions. And Monte said that, well, he did not understand it. But then was my turning point, which has continued 40 years, because then it flashed to me those telephone poles, they were Monte and I. So different language, age, culture, everything. And what are telephone poles? Telephone poles cannot move to each other. They are doomed to be separate, like we human beings are. But there was something what unites them is those telephone, what are they, cables, those electric cables going through telephone poles. And that was the uniting. And then that told me, so we are, we human beings, separate, so different, as in here we are. But there are this kind of mysteries that something happens and we don't have to think and reason, and it's bang, flash in there. And then Monte sent me about 1 year. He sent faxes from America to Finland. Faxes came out, and I scanned them, and I put those in his site I built then. And then my wife came, so that now Monte's dream about those telephone poles and connecting threads has come true. And then I understood that now Monte and I were separate but connected through telephone poles. The faxes flowed through those telephone poles from him to me. And that was the last part of that fantastic mystery fairy tale. And it had so powerful happening that one dream was enough. And here I am 40 years and a couple of thousand dreams later or something like that. So I wanted to, somehow I began to talk about this because it has that mystery and that what I, Deshan, I have seen the potential in you. So I talked about that radiation then today, which is so transparent soul, those sensitive soul you have. And these are the most fantastic things, something we feel, and then we can later perhaps verify that the feeling was true. No reasoning was true. Only that something which comes from the mystery outside our consciousness. Suddenly it's there. No, okay.
It's true. It's true. She is very transparent.
Mm.
And it's true about the mystery. And that's what, like her church, they call it God. But like she said, it's inside of us. There's this mystery that we know. Lao Tzu said, inside we know, we already know. We already know the truth. So it's true, Markku, what you say. Transparent.
Yes, because God is so bad word, completely misunderstood, completely mutilated that whole concept of God. Concept of God is not God, and I don't know what God is, but I don't know the mystery that I don't know. And through not knowing is the only way to understand mystery, because you never can know. And then you see fantastic stream from the whole world, because when you are listening because you don't know, then everything begins to come to you. And you understand that you have never understood, and you don't understand it either now. And that's the most powerful power I know in our human being's life.
Very, very wise words. Yes. I feel like even like my own dream, after so many years, I try to understand what my dream means, but I cannot really get it unless like I really listen to all of you, all of the different kinds of like project to the dream, and then eventually I really can connect it to a very incredible level.
I was looking at Facebook the other day, and someone had posted something on this. There's a really nice Facebook page called C.G. Jung and the Creative Bridge, and someone had posted something, and then there were like 100 different comments, and I just scanned them. It's like what Lisa said about all the people saying the different comments. Some Taiwanese woman will say a feeling. All these people say the different comments, and they're all going in different directions. They don't lead you anywhere, and it's useless. It's just garbage, even though there may be some good ones. But the difference about a dream group is that we're not like that. It's based on a dream. Elisa brought a dream of tampons in a public bathroom. And from this dream, because it's based on a dream, the dream, like Markku said, that he didn't want to say anything unless it came spontaneously from the depths. The dream comes spontaneously from the depths. And we have that, we have the root. It's like a plant with a root. And it's not like these what they call them, these chats or all these different comments that are divergent. They're all going in a different direction. But when you work in a dream group, all the things that people say are convergent. They all come together. And even though we might not be able to say exactly what the meaning is, in our hearts, somehow we're changed. And that's the beauty of having a dream at the center of what we're doing.
Yeah, when somebody says to me, now I know the meaning of my dream, well, of course, if he wants to hear my answer, then I answer, you don't know a bit. Meaning is that when our intelligence says it's the meaning, but it's the meaning is not important for me. Meaning is an intelligent view. That which comes through dream is beyond meaning. You cannot crush and to any exact meaning. That's why it's multi-meaning, multi-dimensional. The only thing which lasts is that that energy from the depths of unknown. That has only the meaning.
Well, the one thing nobody can deny is when something in the dream there's something, and when that touches us in a certain way, we go away changed. And I don't say if we know anything, but we're changed, we're somehow different. And I feel, Lisa, do you feel anything like that happen to you today?
To
Of course, and listen to other people's dream also.
The same thing
Also.
happens when we listen to other people's dream, right?
Yes.
Yes,
yes.
yes. In other words, we don't know, but we go away changed. We're changed. We're touched, and we're more real. We're more authentic. That's the word you used.
Yes.
Joyce, have anything like that happened to you?
Yeah, I think it's really true. And it's also something that sometimes I feel like, because Lisa mentioned that tampons, whether they're being used or not used, I feel like for me, it's that when I see all these tampons, like even whether it's my dream or not my dream, I can sort of see myself changing. Or in a way, we can also say that maybe Lisa mentioned that her dream is like, it's also always about the same issue. But in that way, I can also see that, oh, it's me, I'm having the same issue because it's something really important, or maybe it's because no one had ever be able to solve that question or solve that problem, and there's no fine answer about that. I'm keep searching for it. So through that dream, it's like sometimes it doesn't give me a wow idea that, oh, this I never know it before. It's sometimes it just shows me what I already know, but in a way it also shows me that which stage I am, what I'm thinking, where I am right now. Yeah, so whether it's my dream or other people's dream, it always shows me something. It doesn't have also always been very powerful like a bomb, but it tells something.
One thing with me is change. It doesn't mean I know more. I'm more human, though. I listen to Lisa's dream, I'm more human. I listen to Joyce's dream, I'm more human. I hear about the telephone poles that Markku told me, I'm more human. Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is to be human. And I feel that. And that's so important, because so many things in the world today, they dehumanize us. You know, we're destroying the atmosphere, we're destroying the species, and the oceans are dying. It's so wonderful to work with something that leaves you feel more human.
Yes, I agree. I think until I joined the dream group, the Ullman dream group, that I can really see that the authenticity or the tenderness or the beauty of human being. Before that, because I joined when I was in graduate school, and before that, it's all about working or how like the standard of finding the career is like, is it making money? Is it getting you rich? Is it like high class? It's all about the mind, the brain. It's not about the tenderness of human beings. So until join the dream group, I really see the beauty of human being, and that's why I like it because it's so special. I think like almost no other places I can see. I think it's in arts that I can see the beauty of this thing, but not like face to face to talk about it. Yes.
Yeah, what Lisa said reminds me that sometimes it just I feel like when I work on dreams and even work on other people's dreams, it makes me feel I'm alive, I'm real, because I'm thinking about something and I got a chance to speak up, to say what I'm thinking about. And not just me about saying, because sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm also thinking about this. What's the difference between I'm thinking about it myself or I speak it out loud? When I say something, I will see other people echo to it. They say, oh, I have the same idea. And I know that, oh, that's someone who shared the same idea with us. So the idea becomes stronger. I know where I am. I feel more grounded, or it's like other people will say, oh, I think what you say is really good. I also feel like being seen. So in so many ways, I feel like we are not just a talk about service things, like I'm being successful, I'm being rich, I'm feeling good. It's sometimes maybe it's more about, I feel not just about the good side, but also the bad side, about the pain. I feel that I feel everything, and that's what makes me feel real.
Marco, do you want to say anything before we close up?
Yeah, I thought I thought what you said, that was a very slow through the years, the development which happened in me in relation to that kind of people who were not intelligent, who were ugly, who were that kind of people that, well, they don't mean anything to me. And I did not understand then what then began to happen with dreams and with years. I concentrated more to their psyche without analyzing, without anything. And then something began to happen, that they began to feel that I don't judge them. And for my own wonderment, the people who had meant nothing to me, when I felt more their soul, that human being, I began to like them in spite of their stupidity, their ugliness, their this and that. Well, I don't like every people, but it has been a big transformation, and I thought about that too when you told, when you are your energies are so that you then you see that other people's tampons and so on, that it's sometimes hard to bear and hard to hear. That part has been transformed, and I thought that for me it has been so important that I want to say now, once I haven't said this to anybody, that is for me how important it has been to me, that I can see, I can feel their humanity, and how effortless it has been. It is now to communicate with those people, so that the dependence is not anymore how beautiful they are, how intelligent they are, but how human they are, like William says. And that development is that the pressure to try to do something, I know that it is fruitless, but when you don't try to do something, you only listen to those people, and they show you their soul, and then you cannot hate them anymore, because that humanity in its clear core in them helps me to not to bear, so that I cannot only bear, but I have begun to like them more. Well, I cannot say love them, no, but I like them. I feel that kind of sympathy when I don't try anymore to see only their surface, whatever it is. Yeah, okay, that I have to say.
I think you hit on something really important because judgment is really of the ego. I think, at least my experience. And if the moment you step outside the ego, it's a non-judgmental thing. And then that's when the real humanity comes through. So when you say the dream group makes us more human, I think it's true, because we can't work with a dream if we're judging the dreamer, and judging the dream.
Yes.
Anyway, I think that's very beautiful. Do you want to say anything, Lisa, about that? No? Joyce?
No.
Maybe we're finished then. This is going on much longer. Lisa has to go to bed. It's very late over there now. So thank you for staying with us. And thank you, all of you. Now, the only way I'm going to know how to unrecord this is to end it. So I'm going to end it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.